Hi everyone. In this video, I'm going to go through a match between Mikhail and Vladimir Simagin. It's from the book The Magic of Youth by Tibor Karyoli. So this game was played in Soviet Championship final in Leningrad in the year 1956. So let's see the game now. First, Mikhail opens with e4 and Simagin replies with c6. Then after that, white plays d4 and then black plays d6. And here actually it was mentioned in the book that Simagin has never played this opening before. Perhaps he underestimated Tal's playing strength. Let's see the game further. So now Tal goes knight to c3 and black replies with knight to f6, and then after that we have f4 and it's queen to b6. Then after that Tal plays knight to f3, and then black goes bishop to g4. Then here white replies with bishop to e2, and black replies with knight b to d7. Then we have e5 striking in the center, and Tal plays the opening forcefully, gaining space with tempo. Now here we have knight to d5 and Tal castled. After that white plays knight takes c3. So here it is mentioned that Simagin cannot resist doubling the enemy pawn, but in return white obtains a solid support for the d4 pawn as well as an open b file. He should have preferred e6. Now here we have b takes c3, then we have e6. Then after that white plays knight to g5, and we have our bishop takes e2. Here the exchange of bishops leaves black king bare, but there was no choice. Now here we have queen takes e2, and then black played h6, kicking away the knight. Now we have a knight takes f7. So Tal gives up the knight to blast through to the black king. Now we have king takes f7, and there is no better move than that. Then after that we have f5, so it's to opening more attacking lines. Now we have d takes e5. Then after that we have taken the pawn, and it is f takes e6. So it comes with the check towards the black king. So black king replies and it takes the pawn on e6. Then after that we have rook to b1. So this is a vintage Tal. He would go on to become famous for such moves. Before playing it, he wouldn't have needed to calculate roughly a dozen moves in advance and judge the ensuring position correctly. Now here black takes the rook, and it was queen takes b1, and after that we have queen to c4, and it comes with a check. Then after that it's king to d6, and then we have bishop to a3, and it also comes with a check, discovery on the king on the queen, and king goes to c7, and then Tal picks up the queen. Now we have bishop takes a3. So here black has a material advantage with a rook, bishop and knight versus a queen. However, his pieces lacks harmony and his king remains under fire. Then we have queen to b3 attacking the bishop. Bishop goes back to e7. Then we have queen takes b7, and it comes with a check. Now kings is marching toward the center, and king goes to d6. Now here we have d takes e5, and it comes with a check. So here Tal wants to open up the position around the black king. Now here we have knight takes e5, and then rook moves to d1 to give a check. Here kings hide between bishop and knight onto e6. Now here Tal gives a check from b3 square, and king goes to f5, coming more near to center. Then we have rook to f1 check, and then king goes on the center of the board with e4. Now here rook to e1 again check. So now king has to go back, and it went to e5, f5. Then we have g4, it comes with again check. So this lovely move exploits the fact that the black pieces are overloaded. So king goes back to f6, else it might lose the knight. Then we have rook to f1 again check, king goes to g6, then queens come all along to e6 to give a check, and then we have knight to h7. So the king actually finds a safety, but black has paid a heavy price in giving up his knight. Now Mikhail Tal takes the knight with the queen, so it's queen takes e5. Now we have a rook h to e8. Then we have our rook to f7. Now we have f8 defending the g7 square, else it would be a checkmate. Now our queen goes to f5, giving a check. Now here we have king to g8, and then Mikhail Tal started marching the king forward, and it comes with king to f2. Now there is a check from black from c5 square. So again the king goes forward on to g3. Then we have a check from the rook, it's on e3. Then king goes forward to h4, and here we have rook a to c8, e8. So it's doubling up the rook on the e file. Now again Mikhail Tal gives up the rook by taking it on g7. So it's actually Tal sacrifices back an exchange, which releases most of the pressure on his king and wins 2 pawns and obtained a passed pawn. So here how it goes. Now king takes on g7, and the queen takes on c5. So now we have a rook a to e8, e6. So it is to protect the c pawn, but it is a very passive move. Now it's like black king is totally open. So now it's time to give some checks. So here queen takes a7, and it comes with a check, and also it created a passed pawn which will play a wider role. Black rooks are overloaded and will not be able to restrain the pawn while also defending their king. Now here king goes to a g6, and here we have queen to a8. Now and here the king goes to f6. Now we have a4, marching forward with the pawn. Then the king is coming to e5. So the black idea is to keep the king near to white king and try to checkmate. Then here the plan for Mikhail Tal is simple, to move forward with the a pawn, and it goes a5. Then the king goes to d5. Then we have a check on d8, and then again king goes back to e4, and then we have a6. Then the king goes to f3, and then we have a7, and at last we have rook to e2. So here the white is actually threatening a checkmate on h2 if we promote our pawn to a queen, so it will not work out for white. So Tal plans first to give some checks, and here it started. So he played d3 to to give a check. Now the, it has to be defended by rook, and so black defended it with a rook on the e file, and this time actually Tal goes for the rook and it takes, and in return if black takes the queen, then we will have another queen on the ace ale file. So that's why here in this position we have a resignation, and Tal win this game. So thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, please share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.